mandate is to offer only postgraduate programs, meaning that we have to live in symbiosis with all other universities in all over the world, meaning that we shouldn't come here to compete, but we should collaborate with each other. So that means that you have trained them at the undergraduate level, and then when they wanted to specialize, then we can take over if they would choose to specialize in like finance. So in I will go through all the programs that we have. There's five branches, and to give you a summary as an introduction of what Inceif is all about. Myself personally, I have been working with Inceif since 2006, which is during the inception of Inceif. So I'm the oldest staff at Inceif, even though I'm much younger than Dr. Azmi. So we started even during, we didn't have a campus study during that time. Our office was still just a small meeting room in the bank of Negara. So from then we moved into our first campus, and then in 2012 we moved to our second campus. Last year we moved to a much more newer campus, bigger campus, and we are trying to ensure that our current campus is able to accommodate the needs of our students in the future. Because you see things are changing. Those days we didn't have WhatsApp, these days we have WhatsApp. Those days it's difficult for you to even call your docent. Now you can just WhatsApp your docent asking for extension of deadline. And so on. So it's accessibility is easier these days. And we as a university have to move forward with plans. And like those days, TikTok is always associated with only nonsense dancing. But now TikTok, is a platform for you, the new generation, to get news and also knowledge. So if we do follow the trend, then we are not able to capture the younger generation audience. So that's what we, as a university, regardless, UMI, Inceif, or any others, we have to make sure that we stay relevant so that you guys get the knowledge from the university, wherever platform it be. Maybe in the future, there is no physical campus, but everything will be, online campus, whatever platform it will be in the future. Now, Inceif, now we are the world's first and only university dedicated to Islamic finance. So as I mentioned, we specialize. We don't do any other faculty or discipline. We don't do dentistry. We don't do sports science. We only do Islamic finance. So if you are looking into specializing into Islamic finance, then we are hoping that you can choose Inceif to be your next destination. So the Tubuhnya Inceif in 2005 is basically part of a bigger picture dream that was taught by our previous governor, Tan Sri Zeti Atta Aziz, our lady governor. So she prepared the whole ecosystem of the industry, meaning that in order for Islamic finance to flourish or to grow in Malaysia, you need to prepare 5 pillars. So Inceif is one of the pillars under the pillar of human capital, meaning that in order for you to make sure that the industry grows, then you have to also make sure that those who are working in the industry has the necessary knowledge to ensure the betterment of the industry. Hence why we established in 2005 and we started having our students in 2006. In terms of accreditation, we have AACSB accreditation, and that puts us at the top 5% business schools in the world. And we are due for a maintenance accreditation. If you're talking about the administrative or the university having accreditation, is such a long process, and we are going through that, and the renewal will be next stage. Next one, please. Next one. Okay, so we have in-house professors in various expertise Like for example, Professor Mansour, this what Dr. Dimas mentioned earlier, is an economist and statistician. So everything about him is all numbers. It's all numbers and journals and scopus and whatever. So everything is all research for him. That currently is our deputy president academy and dean. Under him, he has two associate dean. One is Professor Aisha Muniza from Maldives. Just a little bit about Professor Aisha Muniza. She was a deputy minister in Islamic Religious Affairs in Maldives, and she came to us as a normal faculty and recently promoted as a professor, becoming the first professor, the first female professor at Inceif. And not only that, she is the first professor in the whole of Maldives. So in terms of achievement, at a very young age, she is only 37 this year. And she is respectable not just here in Inceif, but also back home in Maldives, inshallah. So she's currently our associate dean for student and internationalization. For another associate dean under curriculum and accreditation, we have Professor Zulkarnain Muhammad Suri. This is our accounting expert, Islamic accounting expert. Not only that he teaches Islamic not only that he teaches Islamic accounting, he does engage externally for a lot of audit, Sharia audit projects outside and high cases projects out there as well. We have Professor Shamsi, Professor Biantula for capital market, and of course we have our Professor Ahmed Al-Judi. Next one, please. And these are some of our faculty as well, in-house on campus in Malaysia. We have Professor Nurali Tunj. He is a Turkish national. He was a former deputy governor, if I'm not mistaken, of the Central Bank of Turkey. So he is currently with Inceif. Unfortunately, he came to first report duty at Inceif during the MCO, during the pandemic, during the time where everybody stays at home. So his first interaction with all other staff is just online by Zoom. So about 2 years later, when he comes to office, we thought that he is, another visitor coming to campus, but he's actually one of our own. So that's Professor Tulani Kaj. And we have Dr. Baharum. He's now professor. We haven't updated the slide. He was just promoted to professor last year. Professor Baharum is pendukung social economy projects. So currently although he's teaching, but at the same time he brought the classroom outside. So he is very close to the community in the sense that the corporate bodies like Maybank will invest in his projects. So the current projects that he has is urban farming and also urban farming projects where he chose one community outside Kuala Lumpur to choose to be able to self-sustain with the penanaman sayur-sayuran and also fisheries for that particular community. So if whatever happens in the future, hopefully whatever projects will be able to sustain the whole community for at least a certain period of time. So that's urban farming projects that we have. We have Dr. Majda, who is pendukung wakaf. Professor Talibullah Khan, he is pendukung sustainability. We have Mr. Ezam Shah, our Takaful insurance expert. He was a former CEO of a Takaful operator in Malaysia. We have Dr. Fairuz from UIA, Dr. Ziad. Dr. Ziad is our alumni. He did his CIP and PhD with Inceif, and further on being absorbed as our faculty. Dr. Kinan is the same. He did his CIP and PhD with Inceif and later on absorbed to us. He just spent a few months in Oxford last month as a staff exchange. and he brought back a lot of experience, inshallah. And we have Haji Rahman Yusuf. He is a practitioner. He was from the bank. He was the head of Sharia in OCBC Alamin. So the combination of our docent is not just academia, but also the industry practitioners themselves. So inshallah, we are hoping that we will teach you only the academic rigor, but also the practicing part as well. Next, please. Next one. Okay. Right. So coming to the main information, which is the programs that we have at Inceif. If you want to, I'm sure all of you right now will arrive at a junction where what is your next decision in life? Because this is your life decision. At your age right now, that life decision could be something that you take or you make out of your own calculation. Sometimes you discuss with your parents. Sometimes you discuss with your other half. Other half means if you are married and it's your other half. I'm not sure whether if any one of you here is already married at a young age. But if you're not, then your discussion probably with your family or with you yourself or among you guys. So it's either you want to continue studying or if you want to straight away go out and earn money to work, or you want to do both at the same time. So at Inceif, we are trying to help you. If you really have passion to obtain knowledge in Islamic finance, but at the same time you want to start away your career, then you can do both at the same time. But rest assured that it's up to you whether you can manage your time very well. So that's the thing about working and studying at the same time. So the main intention is, why would you need to have masters? Some people just say, I want to apply for masters because your friend applied for one. You are a follower rather than you make your own decision. So it's difficult for us to, convince which program that that is supposed to be good for you, if there is the reason why you want to continue masters. But if you want to continue masters because this is my plan, like maybe in 5 years' time, your plan is to start your PhD program, then we would know how to advise you better. If your plan is to have a PhD in your name, then you will go for Master of Science in Islamic Management. Then you will go on to the left side of the program, which is MSc in Islamic Finance. So with MSc in Islamic Finance, then you can continue to PhD in Islamic Finance and so on. But if you say that you need a master's because you want to have better working opportunity in the industry, then you go and look at the program on the right side, which is IMI or MIP/CIMP. So IMI stands for Executive Masters in Islamic Finance, and MIP stands for Masters in Islamic Finance Professional. The difference between IMI and MIP is the mode of delivery. IMI is online program and MIP is face-to-face on-campus program. So that means that if you want to work and study at the same time, that means that you have to choose IMI as your program. But if you wanted to continue your studies full-time, then you choose MIP and study in Kuala Lumpur for about 1.5 years, then graduate on time, inshallah. Now we also have on the left side, we also have a new program called MBA Sustainable Business. And MBA Sustainable Business is basically slightly different than the Islamic finance programs that we have. It still have the Islamic finance component in MBA Sustainable Business, but the angle is slightly a little bit different. It is more about finance sustainability and also business sustainability. Right. Any question on the program so far? before I move on? No? Sure? Clear? Okay, that's fine. Sorry, maybe we skip straight to the scholarship. Oh, it's fine. Yeah. Next one, just one more. Okay. Yeah. Right. I would like to add. Just now, Professor mentioned about action-based learning (ABL). So, if I can just introduce a little bit on ABL. ABL means action-based learning. This is a course, part of the course in the MSc in Islamic Studies program, and also MIP in Islamic Studies program, and also MBA in Islamic Studies program. So, if you register in either one of these programs, MBA, MSc, or MIP, then you have to undergo this course, ABL. So ABL is where you have to work in a group. Then you will be assigned to a company. So if you are in the undergraduate level, practical means you have to do internship, right? So whereby you have to be based in the company and work as per what your company asks you to work. But we don't work that way because this is postgraduate. So we work the other way. You can be based anywhere. You can even be based here, but you can still perform ABL project. ABL project is where you work as a consultant, as a group of consultants, to come up with solution that is needed by the company. So let's say, for example, one of the projects that we had in the past with Itika Takafu, Itika said that they want to build a new head office, not head office, a new branch office. But the aspiration of the branch office is to be a place where everybody meets and also to capture the younger generation. So what the group has to do is to do their own research and also to come up with solution on how Itika Tekafu will be able to prepare the branch as per their aspiration. So that's what they did. So the advantage of ABL is that sometimes if you work in a bank, right? In one bank, there are hundreds or probably thousands of staff. So the probability for you to speak directly to the CEO might be 1%, especially if you are entry level. So if you are entry level, maybe it will take you 10 years for you to be at the management level where you can have direct access to your CEO and you can speak directly to them and provide them solutions. But with ABL, sometimes we saw some groups are being called back by the company because they come up with a good solution that the company asks them to present directly to the board of directors. So these are the exposure that our students have, of course, provided that you guys are doing a good job. If you are doing a not so good job, you will get a lower rating. But if you are doing a very good job, then one thing is the experience. Number two, you probably be noticed by the company and probably you'll be called back to work with the company maybe. Number three, there are a lot of other exposure and opportunities. At the end of the day, after you graduated or during your studies, is either you are employed or you are the one who is providing employment means that you are self-employed or you come up with a startup and all that. So we support all those notions, meaning that if you are want to be employed, we provide the platform to do so. But if you want to create a startup or be a founder of any organization, we support that as well. In fact, there are many of our alumni who are working, but at the same time studying up their what they have as a dream. They start small, then they build up from there. So that's ABL. Lastly is about the financial aids that we have at Inceif. So there are a lot of scholarships out there. Yeah? The one that I'm going to focus today is the scholarship that Inceif provides. But of course, if you want to have better opportunities, you can always apply everywhere. Like for example, our Ministry of Higher Education, they also provide Malaysia International Scholarship. Maybank has scholarships as well. We have scholarships coming from the IDB, Islamic Development Bank, and so on. So, but we also provide scholarships, but at the same time, if you want to have better chance to get the scholarship, you can apply at this as well, not a problem. For Inceif, for master's level, we have what we call as President's Scholarship. So this is for MIP, MSc, and MBA. So if you want to apply any of these three programs, then you can apply for President's Scholarship. In fact, today, those who have submitted our CV to us, I think in our agenda check, we had about 5 who submitted their CV. And I've sent email to them saying that we will interview them today, provided the time is allowed us, inshallah, then we'll be able to do some interviews today here. That's for President's Scholarship. If any of you are interested to apply for the PhD, then we have Chancellor's Scholarship. So Chancellor's Scholarship is one of our prestigious scholarship at Inceif, because not only that the scholarship covers your fees, the fees is about 62,000 ringgit Malaysia, but the scholarship will also cover your monthly allowance of 2,500 ringgit per month for 36 months or for 3 years. So if you win the scholarship, which is very competitive, then you will enjoy these perks. And on top of that, if you are a holder of Chancellor Scholarship, you will also play a role as a graduate academic assistant, where you will be attached to a professor and you work with the professor on many of the works that the professor is engaged to. So you are exposed to their research experience and also contacts, inshallah. Just to let you know that currently we have 2 Indonesians currently holding the PhD Chancellor Scholarship. And these 2 are outstanding candidates. The first one, Brother Randi Swanam. Brother Randi, last year, earlier this year, he won an award as best researcher by OJK, Otoritas Jasa Keuangan. So that's Brother Randi, and number 2 we have Brother Shafeli. Shafeli, he is the pendukung fintech atau sustainability. So for us, when we want to invest in someone providing scholarship, we are investing in your dream, meaning that we are not a bank where we ask you to pay back, but in order for you to pay back is basically your impact that you are able to make post your graduation. So we saw the impact, inshallah, that will be done by the current recipients. We are hoping that it's for the betterment of Ummah and also the betterment of those who are around them. So, for example, if you're applying for Master's President Scholarship, you really have to convince us in order for us to invest a total amount of maybe 30,000 to 35,000 ringgit on you. What can you give, not to us, what can you give back to your society? What can you give back to the community? So one of the, again, if I can share, when one of the candidates, or the current student now, that we really felt that he is a really good candidate for our program. He was from Jakarta, and in Jakarta, she found a startup that is selling takaful, not for you to cover for your own individual self. So meaning that the whole notion here is you are paying takaful coverage for someone else. So that sometimes most of the time it's difficult for the Carrefour agent to approach people to sell the Carrefour, right? So because especially if your friend is a Carrefour agent or insurance agent, if this friend wanted to call you, you immediately see because you don't want this agent to sell you insurance. But in this concept, they say they are trying to use the concept of sedekah into the transaction, meaning that whenever you pay for the takaful or insurance coverage, you are basically giving sedekah for someone. And that sedekah is able to cover for any medicine ataupun accidental coverage for someone. So it's a very good social enterprise. And we currently she is studying with us. We are hoping that with the additional knowledge and experience that she gathers at Inceif and in Malaysia, should be able to expand that project better, inshallah. So again, we are focusing on impact and the Dimas impact, and also impact on your dream and also impact on your society. So that's it. Probably, oh yeah, one last one. If you want to do online program, we have this scholarship called LEAP scholarship program. So meaning that if you want to apply for face-to-face program, you can apply. Scholarship, resident scholarship, if you want to apply for online program, you can apply for this LEAP program. So my team is here today. We have Brother Amir from School of Graduate Professional Studies, and we have Sister Niatifah. Both of them will be helping you if you want to apply today on site, and also for scholarship interview today. That's it from me, Dr. Dimas.
Thank you, Madam, for very informative information. So, this is the brothers. For information, Madam, so here one are attending this event. They listed that in the end of the semester, but until almost end of study. So there are 6 semesters, and some of them also in the 7 semesters, and some of them perhaps the 8th semester. So I guess it is a very good opportunity for you to look into details of this. I myself also convinced myself that it was at the moment 3 years ago when I registered myself. It's at Inceif, and I think the PTN is not available now. Replaced by still available. So in the PCIF, I was experiencing very good to engage and learn with the expert by Madam just now, whereby we learn through the my class and our EF1. They have also my class. And the my class also they provided some modules and very reference videos, and even every Zoom at the moment is very pandemic. So they are recording the meeting. Yeah, so they're doing the meeting and then put the recorded video in the my class. So we can also notice what's going on. You know, also this text translate when there's a translate when there's speaking there. So very easy that to learn what's going on. And the second one that I learned was the majority of the students over there they have diversity with the students. So we learn in the same room. Some friends from other nationalities. So I know, but though we are online at the moment, we know each other from many countries, even from US, from UK, from America. And until now, I still maintain the discussion to do. Especially the finance, I was trying to the moment, taking some daily practices. So it means that Inceif at the moment, and until now, actually offers to you not only just one, but also the network. Even right now, also I was still connected with the management of the some surveys, some, and they maintain the network of the alumni, and they also inform us for some conferences, seminars. So that's good in terms of the connections, maintenance, among alumni. And before I give to you, sister, brothers and sisters, I want to ask you, madam, in terms of the requirements, what is the main requirement that must be met by the current students, particularly for the English proficiency, also for the testing, whatever. So so that they can bring benefits now in case that they are willing to extend it.
Okay. For the certificate and transcript, of course, your CGPA, if this is to apply for the program, then your CGPA must be above 2.5. 2.5, jadi agak terlampau tinggi kan. Cuma je kalau if you apply for scholarship, of course it has to be higher. But to get offer letter for the program is 2.5. In terms of English requirement, we only accept 2, IELTS 6.5, or TOEFL, IBT, minimum score 79. Yeah.
Is it also applicable for those who are taking the bachelor degree in economics and finance?
Yeah.
But in English, as the middle of example, because in Uruguay we have a national program that during the first semester of this year, they're using English.
Right.
Is it also applicable for
if the school can provide a letter certifying that the medium language was in English, then I think it is acceptable.
Okay. So for those who are coming from international students, so you have different easier step to raise the and but for those who are not in English, don't mind because you still have time to prepare the language services. Yeah. Okay, so any question from the board? Okay, please turn on the microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Muhammad Ali. I'm from the University Sultan of Azan exchange program here. So I want to ask about this program. The first one is the cost and how is the opportunity about the study. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. So yes, the first one. If we didn't get the
Scholarship.
yeah, scholarship. And the second one, we know that this is not the family evaluation. But is there any opportunities or chance of working in the PNF or based on the past students? Is how is the working business in Asia or okay, and the last one. I've been thinking this for a while because either I want to take a master program or not because nowadays they are searching for working experience instead of so how is the working chances to after taking the master?
There's 3 questions there, right? So the first one is about the cost structure. So the cost structure for master's program is between 22 to 26,000 depending which program you are applying to, because each master's has different price. MBA is different, MSc is different, MIT is different. Inceif is different. Inceif online is the cheapest because you don't have face-to-face interaction. For Inceif, if you're Malaysian and you are based in Kuala Lumpur, let's say your compulsory fee is about 6,000. Sorry, I can't remember on top of my head how much. But let's say, example, if it's 6,000 ringgit, 6,000 ringgit compulsory fee. Tapi the other option, we provide optional items. Optional items means we do have tutorial face-to-face and also what we call intensive review course, which is face-to-face. If you think you need, as an online student, if you think that you need additional help in preparing you for exam, you can always sign for these optional items, but there are charges for these items. So we make it flexible for working professionals, especially because this is online program then. So if you need the additional help and you want to pay for it, then you pay for the tutorial and IRC. But if you think that all the online materials are enough, then it's able for you, you are able to prepare for your final exam using all the materials, and then you don't have to pay extra. Because those are really optional items. So that's why Inceif is quite cheap in that sense that you don't have face-to-face session or classes on campus. Whereby MIT, MSc, ME, you have weekly interaction in class. So that's the difference. And the thing is, our classes, if we're talking about on-campus programs such as MSc, MBA, and MIT, all classes is from 6:30 p.m. onwards. We don't have daytime classes at all. This is because 76% of our students have some kind of working experience, meaning that they are already working, 76%. So that's why those days, we're talking about 6-7 years ago, we do have classes during daytime. But as I mentioned earlier, as a university, we have to change, right? So we realize that the data shows that we have more in our working professionals. So that's why we stop all the daytime classes, and that's why all our classes are from 6:30 onwards. So if you enroll in MIT, MSc, or MBA, even though it's an on-campus program, you work during daytime, and then about 6 o'clock, we come over to Inceif because Inceif is just in KL, we are behind Banegara. So it's easier for you to commute if you're working in a bank in KL, then about half an hour you can come over to campus and attend at 6:30 class until 9:30, 3 hours. Oh yeah, the loan, sorry. So my answer is focused on as Malaysian. Yeah? As Malaysian, there are more opportunities for loan. One is Mara loan. You can Mara mungkin convertible loan if you are doing well, but you can check with Mara. But definitely Inceif is registered under Mara. PTPTN started to open up to us. Initially, we don't really want to open PTPTN because technically tak ramai yang apply for loan. But PTPTN said that we did not want to offer us something, but that one is still under discussion. The third one is Bank Rakyat. Bank Rakyat has education loan for Inceif as well under Yayasan Bank Rakyat. That's 3. The latest one that we just had meeting was with Afin Bank. Afin Bank education loan. Yes. So we have 4 there. If you are working and you have EPF, you can withdraw EPF account 2 to pay for your fees.
Hopefully, answer the answer by all my follow-up question.
The career.
So I guess if you have some question, I think we can.
Yeah, last one.
Last one. Okay.
Yeah.
Last
because
one.
I didn't answer this last question. Yeah, about career. There is no direct linkage between in terms of career with Inceif and Banegara. Meaning that if you apply to Banegara, you are applying like any other normal application. Although you for certain posts, let's say for example, if the post is applying for a post under JPIT, Jabatan Perbankan Islam dan Takaful, then you might have some added advantage if you have our qualification or any qualification on Islamic banking for that matter. But it depends on the assessment, how are they assessing all the applicants with that qualification. But all I know when it comes to any other HR of the banks, some HR, it's like this. I'm not sure whether it happens here, but in Malaysia, HR will stand advised on the requirement of the hiring manager. So let's say, for example, I'm a head of department for my department, and I have one vacancy under my department, and I will communicate with HR to help me to find candidates, right? So I will tell the HR say that I would prefer this candidate to have qualification from Inceif, for example. So HR will just do as such. So sometimes in the past we did get the hiring manager are Inceif alumni themselves. So they know if they get staff working in their department, having certain knowledge and able to deliver certain tasks by having the qualification, then they will impose that requirement to HR for them to set up. So we cannot impose to HR on the banks to say that, but it's the hiring manager who will set that requirement. So yeah, so certain banks are friendly towards Inceif. Some banks maybe they don't know what Inceif is all about. So that's the reality. We are at the end of the day a university that's providing human talents. Some HR doesn't know us, some HR they know us because they are working closely with the hiring manager in hiring candidates. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, your questions and answers. Yeah. So I know that all of you still have any questions at hand. But unfortunately, after this, we still have other sessions. Counseling and so I have shared to you the pamphlet of Inceif that is sent by the South all of you. Yeah, so you have to double check your book. So I've sent to you the programs, also the contact numbers, also the link of Inceif programs. You know that? So I've shared to them. So you just double check the details set there. And in fact, if you have any question, fine, you can just send those to the contact numbers there. And Madam Anissa and all of us stay connected with you, the emails and others. And I want to summarize that Inceif here opens some offers to you to continue your study, some scholarship opportunities, also some qualified lecturers, also some programs that might vary see the online and offline. With that, I close this session and I pass to the ice to closing and then asking for you to stay here for those who are helping the interview session. With that, I close. Thank you, Madam Isa. Please close to her. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We have arrived at the end of our event, but after we close this event, we are going to have another session called Meet the Professional, the counseling program and scholarship interview. So for those who are going to have their interview, you can still stay in this particular room. Now then, let us close this event by reciting Alhamdulillah together. My name is Alva Isidri Putra Kaputuman as EMC for this occasion. Thank you so much for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih. Bahkan bisa kembali ke masing-masing. Tanya ke bawah.